What's up YouTube? I'm Danielle, and this is Kitchen Optimist. I'm a novice cook, but expert eater, taking on recipes that scare the salt out of me 1 teaspoon at a time. I'm not sure if it's because my maternal great-grandfather was Polish, or if it's because all my other maternal great-grandparents were Russian, but I love pierogi. If you've never had them, they're Polish and I think also Russian, or those lines just got blurred way back in the day, but they're essentially the Polish empanadas. The ones I always had were filled with cheese and potatoes. I know there's lots of different fillings, but I'm sticking with what I know, at least taste-wise. Certainly have never done it before. I don't have the best luck with dough. I don't like ambiguity. It involves kneading. I didn't do too well with that when I made the challah, but the ingredients seem pretty simple, so do the instructions. I'm using the recipe from spendswithpennies.com. I have not used her recipes before, but she claims to have gotten this one from her Polish grandmother, and I am a sucker for any time somebody invokes an old relative in reference to a recipe. I will link the recipe below in the description. I'm actually gonna have her recipe because hers is supposed to make 65 to 75 pierogi, and that's a commitment for a recipe that I'm not confident in yet. That's a commitment for 2 people to consume, regardless of whether or not it's a great recipe. And let's hope that this turns out amazing. So let's get started. I'm combining 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 3/4 cups of cold water, an egg, a beaten egg, we're doing our best here, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 3 tablespoons of vegetable or canola oil. I'm using vegetable because it's what I have. I'm mixing well to form dough, adding water as needed. I'm not entirely sure how I know if it is needed or it just needs to be combined further. So it's not picking up any of this bottom part. So I guess I'm gonna add more water. Uh-oh, maybe that was too much. Okay, now I'm supposed to knead the dough until it is smooth and pliable. Ooh. And she says it's approximately 6 to 7 minutes, which I appreciate because it at least gives me some type of guide. She didn't say anything about flouring my surface, so I have not done that. I mean, it feels pliable now. I need a better understanding of what constitutes pliable dough, because this seems, I guess it plies to a particular place. She warns to not over knead it because then it will be, I don't know, bad. It's more pliable than it was. So I'm gonna stop. That felt like 6-ish minutes. Covering this in saran wrap and letting it rest for 30 minutes to an hour. I just checked, and it does not say if it's supposed to go in the fridge, so I'm going to assume it doesn't. Also said it was supposed to be 3 to 4 minutes of kneading. I'm not sure how I came up with 5 to 6 minutes, so that's cool. Well, we're here now. Now I need 3 3/4 pounds divided by 2 of potato. Hey Siri, what is 3 3/4 pounds in ounces? 60 ounces, so I need 30 ounces. I was at negative 0.013 kilograms. Ready? Now I peel my baking potatoes and cut them into 2-inch chunks. A large pot of salted water. Now I bring this to a boil and cook the potatoes for 15 minutes or until tender. So that is 1 white onion, finely diced. I wish it weren't finely shredded. That takes so much longer. Two and a quarter, and some nibbles for Stigler. Here, sweet boy. There you go. Go ahead. And nibbles for Danielle. Aw, man. So that's 2 tablespoons of butter and my onions that I'm supposed to cook until soft, but not brown. Give them a little longer. Somehow I always forget that I don't have a potato masher. It really only comes up a couple times a year, but those times are annoying, like right now. Now I mix in my butter and my cheese and I'm to mix by hand until very smooth. But my grip strength and I may be at the place where we will settle for quite smooth, fairly smooth, smooth-ish. So then it's salt and white pepper or finely ground black pepper to taste. My favorite words in the cooking vernacular. I think that's good. I don't know. Okay, Spends with Penny says, at this point, you can either roll out your dough into 1/8 inches and then cut 3-inch diameter pieces, round shapes, or what she does, because it's the way her grandmother did, is she takes her dough, weighs it, and then divides that weight by 65, or in our case, 32.5, and rolls out those pieces like that. Since I'm trying to do it the grandma approved way, that is the way that I'm gonna do it. It does feel extra nitpicky and annoying though, I won't lie. Hey Siri, what is 1 pound 9 ounces divided by 33? So I need 0.75 of an ounce for each one. And I'm pretty positive that this can't quite do that. Okay, it definitely is like all gluten-y and pliable, all that good stuff. Ooh, what if I switch to grams? 21.26 grams. Okay, let's switch to grams. Oh, these are real small, huh? This is like small. 21 it is. I'm gonna do all my balls first, I think. I'm already getting way less exacting. That was 22, and I don't even care. I just realized I completely forgot to mix the onions into this mixture. So at least I figured that out now, I guess. Now it's all cold. It's not gonna combine right. All right, let's do this. It's supposed to be about 1/8 of an inch, if you say so. She says, one of the ways you know if you overkneaded it is if your dough starts shrinking back, which mine is doing. You're supposed to put a tablespoon to 1.5 tablespoons in each one of these, and then fold it over, pinch the sides. Sides aren't supposed to be too thick, but I make no promises. Okay, it didn't break, so there's that. Yay me. I kind of feel like I should have gone for the roll it all out and cut the pieces that way. These will not be the prettiest pierogies to ever pierogi. And apparently, I have more onion slicing to do, which I should have done earlier. Final one. I have 32-ish pierogi. I have a lot of the filling left over. I'm surprised by how much. It feels like a bummer that I'm wasting that much. It took forever to shred that cheese, so it is not my favorite thing that I'm not using at all. This is far too many pierogi for me to make and consume, so I'm gonna make, let's say 6 of them, and freeze the rest. I couldn't have made a smaller batch because I can't do half an egg, but I really hope that these are good because I have a lot of them if they are not. These are super homemade looking. If I were to tell somebody that I made these, they would say, yes, I know. Okay, we're in the home stretch. I have water heating on the stove behind me because you boil and then saute. And I am thinly slicing an onion, which gets sauteed first, ideally caramelized, but I'm running out of patience, so I won't be caramelizing these today. That is not a part of today's journey.
A few moments later.
My eyes are a bit bigger than my stomach when I decided on 6. They're crispy like they're supposed to be, like a little crispy. They smell great, but butter cooking and onions cooking always smell great. Onions, and is it even a pierogi if there's no sour cream? Yeah. So good, right, buddy? All right, this is it. Hot. So hot. They look pretty much the way pierogies are supposed to look. It might be a little small. I'm not sure. I think I also may have pan cooked them too long. I like the filling. She does say to make sure that the folded over parts, these parts, aren't too thick. Mine are too thick, 100%. Maybe if I'd had more filling in, I would have taken up more space, but some of mine ripped, so I was clearly rolling them too thin. I will make this recipe again, I think. Maybe not till I'm a grandmother, so that I have lots of little hands to help. Because I gotta tell you, that grating felt endless, and I only did a half batch. But even more, the weighing, the rolling, the filling. That part felt really endless. That felt like a real assembly line activity, but I didn't have anybody else to help with that. I think that next time I would do the other way of just rolling it all out and then using a cookie cutter, because I have to imagine that that would have taken less time. It got very tedious. My interest waned. If I had done a full batch, we would have ended up with one like half sheet pierogi by the end, because I just wouldn't have been able to do it. It didn't actually take a crazy amount of time. It was just extremely tedious. I do feel good that I think I accomplished the dough as it was meant to be. I did get a little shrink back, but not super significant. I think I was looking for problems where there weren't then. Once they're in the pot of water, they cook super fast, a couple of minutes. So I'm looking forward to when I have my frozen ones. That'll be a nice home cooked but fast meal that I'll be able to make. All in all, it took 2 hours, 51 minutes, and 14 seconds. She said it would take 1 hour and 35 minutes. So obviously the fact that she has made these before aided her in that. But if I had done double, I just can't even imagine. I don't know how she does it in that amount of time without an extra set of hands. But I will use this recipe again. I'm happy with it. I will absolutely do it. One thing I did notice is that when she says ingredients like grated cheese or chopped onion, she doesn't put time in the recipe for the grating and the chopping. So like I was looking for, wait, where do I grate this? And then it's just add cheese, because I guess she's assuming it's already grated. I don't know. Maybe that's why her time is so much shorter than mine. But I don't know how she could do that if she's doing double the quantity and doing the wing rollout method. Maybe she's a superhero and I just suck. For cost, the ingredients were $33.46 and the equipment was $242.48. That's a worst case scenario if you had to buy all new kitchen stuff to make this dish. You probably already have a lot of the stuff in your kitchen. That puts the total cost at $275.96. It would have gone up a little bit if I had done a full amount, but not significantly. Maybe just by like the cheese. Other than that, that's it. All in all, this was a win. Even if it was a patience testing win, I'm very happy with these and I will absolutely make them again. I'll also probably try out some of her other recipes. That said, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. I'm Danielle and this is Kitchen Optimist, fighting the good fight for mediocre cooks everywhere. Try a dish that scares you. Even if it's not perfect, it's probably gonna be edible. And it might even be delicious. On that note, stay salty.